watermelon, ooh, okay, is growing daily. Let's get these weeds out of here. But it's a really nice size so far. Okay, as you can see behind me is the delicata squash. It's on both sides. It is insane in here, so I'm starting to just, I don't know if you can see, I'm making my own path again. So there was no path through here, and I'm just cutting. I don't know if it's gonna bite me in the long run or not, but there's so much. There is squash bugs. I don't really know. I've just been picking them and killing them as soon as I see them. So I hope that I can at least maintain these. But so there's my path through. The sunflower's kind of taking up the way. I did find a couple leaves with eggs, like squash bug eggs on them. So I cut them off too. So yeah, you can see down here the yellowing on the leaves. I believe that's damage from the squash bugs. Now, I can't, don't quote me on that, but it's the only thing I can think of that would be doing this. So here I am, picking cucumbers. It's kind of a jungle, but I have some that need to come off. And so here I am, picking them. So I have a little basket over here. I almost have enough to make a batch of pickles. Enough with picklers, and it's kind of hard to do this. Oh, with one hand. I lost it, guys. There it is. Oh no, that one's attached. So here I am in my tomato area. I went down through and kind of pruned the bottoms of these to keep the leaves up off the ground. Ooh, skeeters. They're out in the middle of the day and it's cooler. Anyway, so yeah, I did that. And I didn't really do it too much on the San Marzanos. But I'm gonna continue on with that to keep, I really want to keep the leaves off the ground. I should probably trim them up, get the dead stuff off, but I'll just, this is the most I've ever like pruned my tomatoes, so I'm a little nervous. And I know it's an okay thing, it's just I'm nervous myself. So I'm gonna continue, I'm just gonna keep doing from the bottom up, and hopefully I'll keep things going well. So I also kind of been pruning everything. Like my zucchini, if it's hard to get something, like I cut the leaf out, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not too worried about it, I guess. So anyway, everything's trial and error, and you only learn one way, and that's by trying things. So I'm gonna get moving because the skeeters are biting me pretty bad. So you'll see the end result when I do the garden tour. So. Okay, here's the front bed. My flowers, I love them. I pick a bouquet every day, and these ones are super pretty. I like the colors, but I really like these orange ones. And I thought these were white, but they're kind of like a light greenish. So the wind kind of comes like right through here and knocks these ones over. They're definitely not 5 feet tall. They're not giant ones like I was thinking, but they're a nice size. But they're very pretty. Zinnias are one of my favorites. So they look awesome. Mr. Pumpkin's all the way over the top. I don't know if we'll actually have any pumpkins on there, but the bees are really hitting it now. There's one flying down in there right now, actually. He was in that flower and he came out of the flower, so. But yeah, the watermelon's doing okay. We got one hanging down in there. I'll show you the other ones. I have a couple little clips from the week that I'll add into this video. The only thing I can complain about is my Mrs. Mars sunflowers. They're in there, but they're definitely not big enough to be in this garden. So, squash is growing. The bugs are in it, but I don't think it's bothering it too much. That thing is crazy. And my cucumbers, You know, the hardest part, this, my dog does things like that. That's probably from her. But she'll come in here and pull, like she's pulling them off the trellis, and that's ticking me off. But man, this thing is just loaded with flowers, so if they're all gonna be a cucumber, we're gonna be making lots of pickles. I'm ready to make a batch. Yesterday I went through, and I made a little clip of it. I'll throw that in here too, but I did make a path going through here, just so I can get in and out. So everything's looking good. Picked 2 cabbage now. I think I might just pull them plants completely out, but they are taking up space, so there's no weeds there, so that's kind of nice. I trimmed up my tomatoes, and then, like I said, the squash, so that's just what that is there. I didn't get to picking it up. And yeah, so there's our big old squash. I have a couple clips of the fruit that's in there and the size it is and stuff, so you'll get to see that. But a ton of peppers, tons of them. The cayenne, there's a lot. A lot of jalapenos, the anchos, they're in there. That one is starting to get a few on it, but man, these peppers, I'm just so surprised at the size. Oh, here, we're getting some Anaheims now. Whew, I love them. But, I mean, they're over the top of the cages. Literally, I wonder if I can get it here. So here's my hip. And like, they're as tall as my hip. See my belt? They're as tall as that. So that's really tall. Jalapeno, or peppers, so. Okay, watermelon, they're growing like crazy. Now, I don't know how many I'm actually gonna have. Ouch, I hit that. But I do have 2 good ones on here. Like, good size ones. And the other one is, he's right there. But there's a whole bunch of little ones, and so we'll see what happens. I'm sure there's gonna be more, unless it's just all plant, which, I don't know. Hopefully not, because I'd like a couple melons, so. Oh yeah, since we're doing this, I might as well show you the delicatas. Yeah, there's another one somewhere. I think that's a little bit bigger. There it is. So, yeah, now I cut them in half. I don't know if that was the way to do it, but they're squash bugs, and I got like 7 of them yesterday. And they had some eggs on some of the leaves, so I cut them out. I'm trying. And I know cutting them is probably not the nicest way, but grabbing them's gross too. So, hey, you get out of there. Get out of there. So anyway, well, there you go. That's the garden tour this week. And, hey, you can all get a laugh about my dog here. Get out of here. Okay. Well, we'll see you guys on week number 10. I think I'm going to maybe make a video of me making some pickles and whatnot this week, so. But yeah, oh yeah, I didn't even show you the tomatoes. Here I am. Oops. So the black cherry, we've had a couple. There's quite a few on there. Not as much as like my regular cherry plants that I grow, but it's really a tall plant. Isa? No, the Amish paste. This one's got some really nice tomatoes coming on it. I'm excited about this one. I really like the Amish paste. It's a good plant. And then here's the great white. Oh, I wonder what happened there. But yeah, it was really good. When I cut it open, it's just solid. It was, I don't know, it was really good, like a sandwich tomato, I would call it. The Jubilee's still little, not sure why. And the Mr. Stripey. I'm kind of excited about these. I love the ridges they have. They're very neat. And they do feel a little bit waxy. They're very thick. Skinned maybe? Or flesh? But the thing is, that's like all I see for tomatoes. There's a couple more back there, so I don't know, but I don't even see a lot of flowers on this guy. We're at the top. So, okay. Anyway, that's the tour today, this week, so. Here's a side bed. My tomatoes, they're growing like crazy. So I'm thinking, I should stop doing that. Next year, where I have my San Marzanos, maybe if I do it like that, I don't think I'm going to trellis them next year because they don't really get all that tall compared to my other ones. I mean, they might work just in a nice cage or something like that. So I don't know. I'm thinking about doing that, but I went through and I trimmed. I'll come a little bit closer. Trimmed everything up off the bottom, at least for the most part, and kind of pulled out some leaves here and there. This Roma is the biggest Roma I've ever grown, and now there's little ones. There's a bunch in there. Phew, excuse me. Phew. Allergies are a little bad this morning, but the Prudence Purple, that plant is looking pretty nice. Now this little guy here, he's not very little. Hopefully he stays up. I should try to train him in, at least so he can kind of grip. Man, it's been hard keeping up with all these tomatoes, the training them, but there is a lot of tomatoes on here. So, the black Krim is here. I'll back up a little bit. And I've gotten 2 tomatoes off of that plant already, and they're really good. I've never grown black Krims. They're very sweet. I also ate one of the Great Whites, and that was really good too, but I really preferred the black Krim, the flavor. So I just sliced it up and ate it with salt. Here's the other black Krim, and this one's got a lot of really nice tomatoes. They're gonna be a good size. The 2 I had off the Krim on the other plant they were smaller, but they're at the bottom. So yeah, I think these are going to be a pretty, oh, see, they split. So we had a little bit of a dry patch, and then we got some rain, so I'm guessing that is why. Oh, this one, he's wedged in, so, but we'll see. San Marzano, however you want to say it. This thing is loaded. There is so many tomatoes on this plant in particular. So, I'm ready for canning. This one, it's got quite a few on it too. They're harder to see. They're in there. This is the tallest one I have. And there's quite a bit of fruit on there as well. And then there's this is a big old bushy one. But they're looking pretty decent. So, like I said, I just went down yesterday and I cut all the way around the bottom of them. There's the little zinnia. That was just one seed. Well, I put like 6, and most of them got washed away, but like one thing came up. Oh, yeah, a little tomato buddy right there. We don't need another one right now. Yeah, this is some of the stuff I pulled. So there was some weeds in this bed. Not as bad as you'd think, but I kind of pulled, most of those came from the edge, and then the rest are the tomato pieces that came off of them. So here's my triple crop. We are now above the trellis, a good 6-8 inches in the middle. And this one I trimmed up because there's quite a few dead ones on the bottom, but I really like the looks of that. And there are tomatoes in here. Here's some. I'll start at the bottom. So they're nice. There's some in there. There's some more in there. So we're gonna have a nice production of tomatoes there. Oh, train it. This is the next plant that is as big as my other triple crop. Came out of the same seed packet, but does not look the same. So for anybody that knows tomatoes, can you tell me, are there different varieties of triple crop? Like, is there like a climbing triple crop and then a regular one? Maybe I should look it up myself. Maybe I will. But anyway, this is also a really nice plant. Oh wow, look at this. This is, I think like 2 flowers together there. Yes. Let me see if I can get a view. So it's 2 tomatoes that are gonna grow into one. There's a whole bunch. This thing's loaded. The whole trellis moves when you touch this plant. Here, let me get back a little bit farther. It's already a little close. Not sure what happened to my dog there. So we got just tons. So I'm gonna be a busy girl. I'm gonna have to take off work a day or two to handle my tomatoes. Oh, and I didn't get them trained back and forth here. It's growing way too fast. Oh, see, and then I broke it. Well, I think we got enough plants, so that's not gonna hurt it. Cherokee purples, they're a little bit shorter. They're pretty bushy, and they got a little bit out of control here. So I hope them branches stay up. If not, I'm just gonna chop them off, I think, and yeah, deal with what I got. So I'm kind of excited to see what these ones look like. I'm excited to see what all these look like when they ripen. And then here's the other one. They're gonna be some big tomatoes. Look at that one in there. So, all right, and the zucchini have really taken up the space that I gave them. They're not overrunning it too bad though. I mean, I gave them all that room, so I wish I had a little bit more of a path to get through here, but I can make that work. I've harvested quite a few. The yellow straight neck squash is like, that's big. It took over my basil. I don't know if you can see it here. Let me go around. Cilantro. I don't even know why I bother growing that, because that's just what happens. Yeah, the basil's right in there. So this thing looks a little bit in the yellow side today. I wonder if the squash bugs are kind of giving it some problems here, but that's all one plant. It's huge. There's the dog. She's been eating my cucumbers. Hey! Like every morning she comes out and gets my cucumbers. I don't know how else to stop her. So I'd yell at her or catch her doing it, but that's a whole other story. So yeah, the zucchini's looking really well. I've picked now. Isa, come! Hey! You, come here. Isa, come. Isa. No, come here. You stay out of my cucumbers. Sorry about that. Anyway, so she's such a dork. I've picked probably 10, and they're really good. Oh, I just love putting them in butter, onions, not even onions, just butter. I've been mixing the yellow and the green, and it's super good. Okay, so cauliflower is not really doing much, but I was told, oh, there's, can you see? A little one forming. I was told by my mom to just, oh, she did get one. Wait for it. So this one, at least, I'll at least have one head. So that's cool. Oh yeah, there she is. I don't know if you can see her. Cucumber in her mouth. A really nice one, by the way. I thought I picked all of them. That's probably the one I saved. You're a naughty dog. My goodness. Okay. moving on. So I finally got all of my peppers in cages. Oh, that's just something else. But I got them all in cages because they're not very sturdy, I guess. They were falling and then they were growing up sideways, but I have quite a few peppers coming, and now these are supposed to be a green bell pepper, and they don't look like that to me. They taste like it. I had one. They're sweet, so they are a sweet pepper, but these are the California Wonders, I believe, and they just don't look like it to me. So I'm wondering if the greenhouse that I bought these from had some issues this year, because see how these look like bells, and these are the red ones. You know? And I got some of man, that one got squished. Trying to get them in. Here's some of the purple ones. These are really good. I ate them. They're thinner, skinned, or flesh, whatever you want to call it. They're a little bit thinner than the green ones. I'm going to have to pull that one, I think. He squished the little one. But they were good. So, and the cabbage. Well, here we are at week 9. Yes, I believe it's week 9. This is the back bed. My sunflowers are doing very well. We've had a couple storms with wind and whatnot, and they're still standing, so that's always a relief. The last one, though, my corn got knocked down flat, the first 2 rows, and so I stood them back up, and I think they're doing pretty good. So now I haven't weeded or done anything with this bed in like 2 weeks. But you can see it's actually pretty decent. Oh yeah, so my parsnips got kind of blown over in the wind that day, so it must have like came right through, and I thought they'd maybe stand back up, but it's not really looking like it, at least not yet. So we had a little bit of rain last night. There's a corn down in there, but so we're tasseling, and we got some ears coming here. So soon we'll have some sweet corn. Yeah, those are the 2 rows that were laid. They were flat, so I had to go through and mound up dirt and all this stuff to get them standing back up. But these sunflowers are so tall. They're as tall as they were last year, like at the end of the season, and so I don't know. There's a big old head. The birds love these. I probably should have pulled these 3 off the end, but oh, there's one corn. I don't know what it's doing. I'll go fix that. But it did stand right back up, so that's nice to see. I was pretty worried about it, so yeah, and there's a couple little weeds in there, but nothing too bad. We've been eating quite a bit of onions out of the garden, as you can see right there. We're missing kind of a little patch, but nothing terrible. And I'm waiting for the rest of the tops to fall over, and yeah, oh, the carrots. I'll show you the carrots. They're in here somewhere. Man, them parsnips. It bothers me when things fall like this. I don't know what else to do. Fluff them back up maybe. But so yeah, so that's the back. Man, onions are so strong smelling right now. here are some of my delicata squash. They are getting to be a pretty decent size. That's a good 4 or 5 inches right there.